Riders have been given 30 seconds. All masters categories ready to start. Going to start in the next 15 seconds.
We are off in round 5 of Oz Cycling Australia's National Mountain Bike Series here in Canberra on Mount Stromlo. So the race this morning this is Saturday morning, 9 a.m, and we've got the Masters group heading off. These are like the 50-year-old plus, so we've got like Masters 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, ranging from ages from 50 up to 70, 75 plus, all in one group here. We're off on a few different waves, just a bit of a break between each of us. This race this morning is, I said, round 5, and what's been going on here in Oz is Oz Cycling's been running a national series over the summer on the mountain bikes. Round 1 and 2 was down in Hobart in Tasmania, 3 and 4 in Victoria. I was unable to get to either of those rounds because of other commitments, but I managed to get down to Canberra for round 5, 6 and 7. Round 5 was on Friday afternoon at 4 p.m. That was a short track race of about 15 minutes, short and fast, not too technical. That was a whole lot of fun. Finished 4th in that one. I didn't get any footage of that one, sorry. That was my mistake in trying to set up the camera to get that footage, and it didn't work for me. That was my fault. However, I've come up with a good way of setting up the camera here on the bike. I've got the Insta360, so some good footage coming from this. Insta doesn't actually recommend running this camera on the mountain bike, but I've come up with a bit of a hack. It's actually worked really well. It's nice and stable, and doesn't restrict the riding at all, and causes no risk to safety or anything like that either. So it was a pretty good hack I come up with. I might show you that one other day. Regardless of that, we've got some good footage here that's of this race. So this runs for about an hour 10, I think it took me. There's 4 laps of this circuit. Now this is technical. This is about as technical as it gets here at Stromlo, which is saying something. So this is up the evolution climb for the first lap. This is not overly technical. There's a couple of little rock gardens we'll see coming up here shortly. I've done this dozens of times, and I've been able to successfully climb up through here, but as you'll see, not today. Once the pressure hits in, you get people around you, a little bit of fatigue, etc., and a bit of panic as you hit some of the rocks. Don't always achieve what you want with some of these technical sort of hazards. That's okay, we do get through though. And then we're going to head up a bit further into a track they call Heart Attack, and then come down Hammerhead. And if you know that, you know what's coming. So here's the first bit of trouble I'm having, getting up over these first rock gardens. There's a little bit of traffic around, guys in front of me, so you don't sort of always get the speed and the momentum you want. As you see there, this guy's balked me, so I didn't achieve that one, which doesn't worry me too much. You only lose a couple of seconds here and there, but we get back on the bike and away we go. There's another set of these coming up a little bit further up the hill, but this is all skill development, and at my age, and I am 60-year-old next month, so I'm racing this year in the over 60s. This is my first race in the over 60s, so really excited about that, because I can test out how I'm going in this age category. So I'm hoping to do all the championship rounds this year on the road, crits, mountain bikes, cyclocross, and the gravel as well. So there's a big series running around Australia, and this is the first of the races for me this year, so I'm pretty happy with that. So we're getting pretty close here to the top of Evolution. This is a pretty common climb, this one. Anyone's been to Canberra's done this dozens of times. This is the sort of way up for me. I'm heading up the mountain here on my usual training ride if I'm down in Canberra, aiming to have some fun. And here I am struggling over this second hazard here. So we've made the top of Evolution now. We're going to pop on a bit of a fire trail here, and then we're going to very shortly head back down the hill, down Evolution. So it's a bit of a faster track coming down here. It's a whole bit of fun. So this comes down to experience. I know what's coming up shortly here, so I'm going to head down Evolution. This is just a nice little windy trail. There's a few jumps in it. There's a bit of fun. Not really a downhill course, so to speak, but it's quick. You know, it is downhill, but it's really windy. A few berms, a few jumps. So what I was aiming to do there was get around this guy, and so therefore he doesn't hold me up, or probably more so I can hold him up. That's usually my plan here, is that I'm not the fastest downhill, and I know that. So sometimes with the competition, I like to nip in front of them so they're not getting away from me. You know, whether that's a legitimate strategy or not, I don't know, but that's racing. I do find sometimes down these sort of trails, the guys will gain a few seconds on me, and I'll sprint out the back end of it and try and catch up with them. But the aim here is to just maintain my position early on in the race. There's a long way to go yet. So you can see here into the sun. This is a whole lot of fun. This track. This is just enjoyable. The burns, a couple of small jumps, really fast. Very much single track. There's not much room here to overtake. You'll probably see in the future here on maybe the next lap down, you get the young kids come flying down through here a lot faster than I am. And there's a couple of very short A line, B lines with a bit of a jump that they can take if they're on the ball. So I sort of usually let them go if they're on the tail of me coming through there. Now the course is really dry. It's just dusty. It hasn't rained in Canberra too much for a while, so coming back out on some of those trails here, these fire trails are just really sort of loose, dusty, gravelly stuff, so you've got to be pretty careful on some of the corners there. Saw that one coming out of there too quick. You can very easily slide out. There's my buddy coming back at me. There's a bit of this goes on during the race with a few different riders. Some are good up the hill, some are good down the hill, some are good along the single track. Some are good climbers on the technical stuff, and some are not. So real variations. Here's another buddy, and this guy here, you're going to see him a few times in this video, and also the next one, which is race 7 tomorrow. The guy in purple there is racing in the 70-75 category, and he's the ultimate winner. He's a pretty cool dude. Actually, I could chat with him after tomorrow's race, and yeah, really nice guy that rides really well. It's really fantastic to see people in their 70s still getting up there and racing hard. Here we go again. It's my turn to overtake him now, and this seems to be the go for the weekend. He overtakes me, I overtake him, and this went on for today and tomorrow's race as well. So we had a really good battle for the 2 days, which was a whole lot of fun. And it's really good to have people who are challenging you. So no matter where you are sitting within your race category, you don't have to be racing first and second. You can be racing further down the line, but there's people in other age groups that may well challenge you to achieve your best, basically. So this meant that I raced pretty hard for this day, even though I wasn't that keen on heading out this morning, and I'll tell you a bit why. So we're about to come up on a trail. So we've just come off the fire trail here, and we're going into a left-hander into a single track. And we're going to head along here just for a few seconds, and very shortly we're going to turn up into another track that I've ridden past hundreds of times. There's a little sign on it, and it's called Heart Attack Track. You know, it's called that for a good reason. I've never been up there because I didn't really feel the need to have a heart attack whilst I'm training or racing. So I figured if it's called Heart Attack, it's probably called that for a good reason, as you're about to find out. So, trail that's coming up very shortly. I think here we go. Has a bit of a rock garden. And first go into it. Now yesterday,
Come on.
and I'm pretty annoyed with myself here, and for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't make it, and two, my buddy's coming past me already again. I went out here yesterday and trialled this track, and I got to this little hazard here first up, and failed. So I went back and had another go again, and worked out with a bit of momentum, a bit of power. You'll be fine. I can get up here. So I figured, okay, that's the first hazard out of the way. I can nail that one in the race, and I can worry about the rest further on. But as you see, first go at it with a bit of fatigue already under the legs, someone pushing me from behind and a bit of haste, I failed. And so did a lot of other people. It wasn't a real tricky sort of thing, but I just didn't get it right. So that annoyed me a little bit. So back on the bike again, and we're now heading up the real heart attack here. So what we've got is sort of, and now I'm off the bike already, is just, this thing hits 25 to 30% in spots. So there's like little humps that just sort of dips up and down. And it's been designed like this to sort of get rid of the water because it's a pretty steep track. So yeah, 25 to 30% some of these short, steep little sections here. And they run for about 4 metres, and then they drop off and you go down a little bit for a couple of metres and you climb back up another one again. It's just continual waves of this thing, and these get harder and harder as you go up. So I get about halfway up and I'm off the bike and walking, and so are most people. I did get overtaken by the elite guys in later laps, and they can climb this. But it's also really dusty, as I said. So it's just slippery under the wheels as well. So you've got to stay seated. You can't get out of the seat to climb because it's too slippery. So staying in the seat it's just really, really difficult the higher you go. So I hit the top now, and we're about to go down another hazard. Now the camera doesn't really give us justice. This thing here drops down at around about 30%, and it's just a rock garden with a bit of a twist to the left, a twist to the right. And I come up and had a go at this yesterday, and failed a couple of times, and the national champion come past me, and I watched him go down. I thought, how easy is that? And thought I'd have a go the way he did it, and I managed to succeed it. But I got balked there from this other rider, so I didn't have a crack at it, which I wasn't that disappointed about, because failure there can mean a bit of pain and damage, because it's a rather quick, short descent in a heap of rocks. So at my age, I don't take too many risks. The good guys and the young guys and a lot of the others can do this sort of stuff, but for me, it's a technical challenge in some of these areas. So we're sort of climbing back up now. It's not that steep, but it's just quite relentless. Just these rock hazards consistently, so we're sort of on and off the bike. I managed yesterday in my test to get over most of these okay. There's one section coming up where there's 2 rocks one after another, and they're pretty technical, so I decided to get off those and just walk my way over them. But I had managed in my test yesterday to be able to achieve most of these hazards, but when it comes to race day and you're pushing hard and there's other people around you, it doesn't always quite go as planned. It's a bit frustrating in ways, but in other ways that's technical mountain bike racing. And the way they've designed this series of races over 3 days, so the short track on the Friday was fairly fast and non-technical. It wasn't a gravel race by any means. There was some technical downhills and a little bit of climbing to be done, but it was only about a 1 kilometre circuit, so it was quick. Today is technical. It's just technical climbing, it's technical downhill, so it's testing skills. And then tomorrow is it's not flat. There are climbs, there's single tracks, but it's not overly technical. Tomorrow, unlike today, as you can see here, I don't need to get off the bike at all. I'm able to flow around fairly reasonably, getting over various rock hazards and climbing the hills and down through the descents, etc. But having a lot of fun. But today is around skills and technical skills, which is not really my forte, and I knew that before I went into it. Which is where I was a bit concerned around the ride and whether it was too technical for me. But in talking to a few of the other guys, getting into their 50s and 60s and 70s, they decide if they'll have a good crack at it, and where it gets a bit too technical, they're happy to walk. So if most guys are doing that, then I feel okay with it. The guys at the front of the race in my age group in the over 60s, look, they're still pretty good technical. They'll fly through some of these, so they'll gain a fair bit of time on these technical ascents and descents. I mean, that's okay. That's room for improvement for me. I don't mind that, but it's really good to watch them at that age still having some of those skills to be able to tackle that sort of hazard stuff. So we're on the top here, just heading along the summit, which is just very tight single track. A few tight turns, and then very soon we're going to start to go down what they call Hammerhead, and you'll see very soon why it's called Hammerhead.
38 seconds from James to second place is Lucas. Not a service we often providing race gaps. 8:05, Archie Martin came across in fourth, according to 8:05. And then we got our race leader of the Masters 5-6, Mark Lees.
Right, we're going down now. This is the start of Hammerhead. I don't think the camera does this justice at all. These are really short, steep drops over rocks. This is really technical stuff. The true mountain bikers really love this stuff. I don't have that skill. The 15, 16, 17-year-olds come flying past me on future laps, and they're just flying through this stuff and really loving it. And then some of the other masters are coming through here really quickly as well. Their skills are pretty good. It's only a couple of sections coming down Hammerhead here that I don't trust myself. That was one. I think coming up to another one here where I'll jump off shortly and just run the bike down. Just find that a little bit safer. But you can see that most of the technical stuff I'm getting through it okay. So at my age, I'm pretty happy to be able to achieve what I am achieving here. And I don't need to push myself because Monday morning I'm back to work. I still need to earn a living, and my bones don't heal as quick as they used to. So that's mountain bike racing. It's getting more and more technical as the years go on, and that's just life. I do enjoy it, but I don't like to push my technical skills too far. But I need to keep developing those skills so I can get through some of these areas, perhaps a little quicker in the future. There we go. It's one of the kids come racing past me. You can see how quick they move. They take no prisoners. They're quickly around these trails. They're really nimble. A lot of confidence, a lot of skill. Good fun to watch them go past. Not trying to keep up with them. So that's my first race experience down Hammerhead, so happy to get through that. I feel a lot better now, because as I said, I wasn't going to do this race because I felt it was too technical, and I was really concerned around getting down Hammerhead successfully without hurting myself. As these faster guys coming past me already, they did start a little bit earlier than us, but they're already overtaking me in the first lap. You can see the dust they're throwing up, they're really flying. But I was really happy to get down Hammerhead without too much trouble. So I managed to achieve that, mostly riding, a little bit of walking. That's okay. At least I'm around that first half of the lap safely. There's this kid that come flying past me earlier on, and which is what I find really funny is that some of these kids are really quick on the downhills, the technical stuff. They don't quite have the strength and power yet on some of the uphills and along the flats again. So I tend to pass them a fair bit. They pass me, I pass them. Have a bit of a chat, but they're all good fun out there doing their thing at their level. So this is just some sweeping bends here. This is a far less technical downhill section. It takes back to the start-finish to finish the lap. So I've done these sort of trails down here quite often here in Canberra at Stromlo. So these don't test me too much. I'm not as quick as some of the younger guys on this section, but I'm really happy with the speed that I maintain down here. It's just really fun racing. And the good thing around a course like this is you climb up through that technical stuff and on the ascents really burn the legs and the lungs, and then it gives you a rest coming back down again. So we're still spinning in some of these areas without putting too much power through the pedals.
Just walk those gnarly bits like everybody else, and I'm okay with that. I'm a runner. And as a cyclist, I make a very good runner. So don't mind walking a little bit. I suspect the next lap will have less traffic and get held up less on some of the key spots. Maintaining my own speed, which is variable from the guys around me. Some go up fast, some come down fast. Like this 15-year-old. Smashed me on the downhills and the flats, uphill. I've been chasing.
So obviously I've caught my breath. I'm on the way back down the mountain there, and I'm able to have a bit of a chat live on the bike.
Up, down, no problems there. So remember, I've got to drop this up first. And I need to use it. And the front forks.
So that's lap one complete.
Lock out. Times like this, or at least partly lock out. And the fire road's fully lock it out. There's no bounce. Just got to remember to open it back up when I need it. I'm caught with that a couple of times.
So what I'm talking about here is that first lap is a warm-up. Start defining the legs, getting the heart moving, pumping the blood around the body. It's also getting a bit of blood to the brain as well. Remembering on the modern mountain bike, you've got multiple controls you need to operate. So obviously the gears. I'm running a 1x SRAM XXO1 system here. So it's pretty simple. It's just the one lever on the right, using the thumb to go up and down. So there's only the single chain ring at the front, so I need to worry about going down, up and down the two chain rings. So changing gears is pretty easy, pretty obvious. If you're going uphill, you need to change down gears. If you're going downhill, you need to change up gears. One thing I do need to remember though is you're going into some of these sweeping downhills is if you've been coming up a climb going into it, that you need to raise your gears before going into it, because you may well be just coasting, going through the berms, heading down, and then you'll get to a point where you realise that you are in too low a gear as you come out towards the bottom. So heading up gears before you go into it was a lesson I knew, but you tend to forget it sometimes when you're racing. The second lever is the drop post, and I often forget I've even got one. So we head off on the race, we're heading up, not using it much as you start coming down again. I get down through some of the technical stuff and realise that I've still got the seat up and need to remember to drop that down before I go into it. So that's the second lever that you need to worry about, but it's usually I slap myself halfway through the first lap as I go through the first downhill and realise I didn't activate the dropper post. So I can remember it from there on. It's just getting blood to the brain and remembering what you need to be doing with the levers. And the third lever is Scott's lockout system. So I'm riding a Scott Spark, so the front forks will lock out, which is really good. They've got the three-way lever on those, fully open, half open, and fully closed. I tend to use that a fair bit. Once you hit the fire trails, I lock it out to push hard. As I go up some of the technical climbs, you go halfway, and that apparently sets the geometry right and gives you a little bit less movement on the front forks. That tends to work quite well. And the critical thing to remember is you start to go down on some of the technical stuff and really rocky stuff to make sure that you've opened out the shocks, because that can be rather disastrous if you don't. So it's just reminding myself early in the laps to operate the three levers correctly, getting the brain operating right, and usually by lap 2 I'm back into flow and operating the levers properly. So we're heading back up evolution now. So you've seen a bit of this. So we're going to cut through a little bit here and not show the same stuff on the lap consistently, because we've got 4 laps to do. and sure you don't want to see the same
Very
thing 4
dry and
times.
dusty. I can't climb out of the saddle, there's no grip. I think I'll change tyres before the Nationals in 2 weeks. But even still, it's dusty and loose. So it's seated climbing, what most people do, not me. Right. Let's nail these climbs this time. These rocks. Not down in or any gear. And some traction. This dude's failed. See if I can do something here. How can we do it? Almost. Try.
So there's a fail on the first rock garden, picking up evolution again. I wasn't that impressed with myself. I thought I should have been able to do it. There's no one walking me this time. It was really just up to me to get the right momentum. I checked this yesterday and I was happy with the flow on getting up over these rocks. But just fine when you get into the race. There's a little bit of fatigue there, a little bit of rush, and you just don't quite get the right line, and down you go. So nothing major. You lose a couple of seconds. Don't get too stressed about it. Move on and attack the next one. There we go into the hazard at the top, and Craig is successful this time, so I'm pretty happy with myself. So finally, halfway through the lap 2, I'm finally actually getting my brain and body into gear, and I'm actually achieving that first rock hazard there. So I was pretty happy with that one. It wasn't a real difficult one, but nonetheless, we got over it. This third one here, again, proved a bit difficult. It is a bit of a tricky one, this one. You've got to find the right line getting through here. Didn't quite get through there, but again, only lose a couple of seconds. So not stress too much about it. Let's head up on the fire trail here and then down into the downhill evolution again. Just a bit of fun here on some of the jumps.
Way, work the left hand, open the suspension, drop the seat. Right hand, drop the gears. Good job, Craig. Go low and go. Get too much air. Now daylight behind me. Got a junior in front of me and a guy in the purple passed me not long ago. I have been gaining on him on some of the ascents, and he tends to get the shits on some of those technical descents. Up with the thank you. Seat post. loads of shots. Down the gears. Another drink. Line steady. Plenty more to come. Good work. Just amazes me how quickly some of these guys go past. These are the younger ones, not the elite level. They're racing later this afternoon, so we've got 15s, 17s and then the Masters all mixed in here. The top guys in the Masters move pretty quick, and so do the 15s and 17s, the top level of those as well. So here we go, start of heart attack again, and fail on the first rock hazard. That annoyed me, but don't get too stressed about it. I just didn't get the momentum on it. And this is what happens sometimes, I think, in racing. You get a bit fatigued, don't come into the hazard in the right line, and off you go. So only again losing a couple of seconds, no stress about it. But I get a pretty good run here up the hill. So I get up here as far as I can, but still need to get off and more because it's just too steep. 30% is just crazy. It's all right at the start of it, the first couple of ramps, but by the time you hit the third or fourth one, the legs are starting to go and the heart rate's hitting 190, and at my age it's just a bit too much. So thankfully, I have a running background, so jumping off the bike for me doesn't worry me too much if others are doing the same. I think sometimes I gain a little bit of ground, or at least I think I do. That's my bit of motivation here. Go, go, go. Well done. Bike back. Ah,
Water coming.
So here's this tricky descent again.
well done.
The guy in front of me has managed to achieve it, so I've given him a bit of a pat on the back. For some reason, I decided to walk it. Didn't lose too much time.
I should have done.
I was a bit disappointed in myself. I had a few goes at this yesterday afternoon to make sure I did it right. And chickened out second time around. But I'll have a go third time. See how we go
Back in the
next
pedals
lap.
in low gear. That's good.
There we are. That's why I was in the wrong gear.
Tighten that right pedal. So it keeps going out. Go, go, go. Well done. There we go, man. Oh, you're rock. Ah. No matter how hard you try, it doesn't always work. So I had a good crack at that hazard there and didn't quite get the line right. Got annoyed with myself. That's just bloody cycling. You know. It's a good effort, but it doesn't always work for me. This is really technical. I can't describe how technical this part of the course is. I don't think I've ridden anything quite technical, so technical of a race before. At the end of it, I was just proud of what I'd achieved, but during it, it was a bit frustrating at times because I just wasn't quite getting over some of the rocks that I wanted to. But I did get over a lot of them. For an old man. I think I'll register for the downhill next time. That'll be easier. All yours. No. Back in the pedal and slip the helpful left in. Come on. Right then. Suspension's open. Right, Pete. Go right, go right.
So what I do like in these championship races is you've not always got this experienced riders. I mean, you're getting lapped like that guy there, you get plenty of warning coming from the back, rider behind, and they don't push you if you're in a spot that's not really capable of overtaking. They don't push at all. They take their time, but you know, a nice early call there allows me to identify a spot where I can sort of go a bit left, a bit right, and just call them through. So had no trouble with that all weekend. These guys were really courteous. With 15-year-olds, 17-year-olds, or the Masters guys that we're riding with, some lapping us, some often, just passing me and I'm passing them. But courtesy was really good. Skills was really good, so getting past, it just wasn't a problem. So I was really happy about that. It's not always the case, I find, in mountain bike racing, but in these odd cycling events that are probably raced by people who do a lot of racing, let's say, they tend to find a lot more courtesy on the trails than they do on some of the other open mountain bike races where you've got weekend warriors and people who may not do a lot of mountain bike racing as such, particularly on technical tracks, and don't quite understand the etiquette in getting around a rider. So this weekend wasn't the problem. Here we are, 15-year-old coming back at me again. This guy. We battled for the 4 laps. It was good fun. He's passed some on his downhills. There's one of the faster ones going past as well. But I'll probably not pass him his kid again shortly, then he'll come past me again. He was a lovely kid.
Survived 2 laps, wasn't too bad. Walking those sections was okay.
So that completes lap 2. So I'm pretty warmed up now. So starting to feel like I'm riding quite well. Coming down some of those trails, just getting a bit more speed. I think often in the first lap, when you haven't fully warmed up, the brain's not operating as quick as it should be, and sometimes don't hit some of the corners as quickly as it should. By end of lap 2 though, halfway through the race, you're pretty much warmed up and you haven't sort of fatigued too much either. So it's a good part of the race here to probably enjoy it more than anything. So we're going to lap 3 and we're into the single track here rather than the fire road there, which we used in the first lap. Plenty of open space.
One behind me for a long way. The faster kids coming through. In front of me, these two 15-year-olds. Chase them on the uphill, and nail me on the downhill. They do it every time. And the guy in purple, it's got a bit of a gap on me, but I don't know what age group he's in. And I don't know how many are in an age group. That's why I'm here. Sometimes, as you get older, it's a race of attrition. You've just got to be there. Yesterday was 4th. It's only one off the podium. Off you go to the right.
Thank you, mate.
Well done.
So that's the front of the race, 17-year-old, under 17, and it looks like he races for the Canberra Off-Road Cyclist Club. This is his home track, you know this pretty well. So you'd be probably almost hitting twice the pace as I am. These kids absolutely fly on these trails. Really good fun to watch them. He's got me on a bit of a single track and uphill here, but good fun to watch them on the downhill. They're just so light on their wheels, they hardly get the ground. As I was chatting away there, on my positioning, I've now got a fair bit of open space. There's sort of no one around me. The 15-year-olds, 17-year-olds are sort of coming backwards and forwards in front of me, behind me. There's a guy in a purple shirt, as I mentioned, a bit further up. He turned about to be in the over 70s category, and I chased him for 2 days today, and you'll see in tomorrow's video as well, chasing him as well. So he is the national champion. So I don't mind chasing a guy 10 years older than me who's best in the country. And he rocks along really well, so he's a lovely guy. I'm happy to chat with him after tomorrow's race. Heading back up towards Evolution for the 3rd time now. So let's see how we go getting up the climb this time.
Go right. This team here is good. The team from Chinese Taipei I saw earlier as well. International flavour. And there's quite a few of the nation's best warming up for nationals in a couple of weeks and vying for points in the series. Rebecca Henderson's here. Her father's up ahead of me here, racing a moonbreaker, of course. They're both from last year. Hand me down. Isn't that cool? Jason English is here. Won yesterday in the short course. And a few others. Yeah, nah. Yeah, I made the decision to do it yesterday, but not today.
that's 3 fails out of 3.
Ted says no now.
It's funny in the fact that I've raced this trail dozens of times and I can get up and over that. But today I failed 3 times for some reason. And I was discussing there with the lady on the side, you've got to commit early and get a bit of momentum. That's the only way up and over it. So I think it was just the fact that it was in a race today, plus it was a bit dusty, and I think other people commented on this as well with some of the rocks with the dust sitting on them. If you don't quite get the momentum, then you end up with a bit of wheel spin on the rocks, so you've got to make sure you have a bit of speed before you go into it. It's not just about power, because too much power then your tyres may slip on the rocks because of the dust.
Go right. Nice.
That's that short A line, B line that I was talking about. I don't usually take that A line, it's a bit of a jump. You've got too much speed up, I don't like getting too much air, so these young guys love it. So I gave him the A line and over he went. Good catch, that bit of footage of a 17-year-old in full flight getting over the jumps.
One more time.
Yeah, one more time.
You alright? Are you done? Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm not racing.
Final climb. warm now. That's the final lap. So as you go into heart attack for the last time, now it's just more fatigue than anything. I've been pushing pretty hard for 3 laps, and it's not a matter of getting momentum and skill getting over these hazards. It's a matter of I'm just too tired. So I've pushed the bike over there and head up heart attack and climb up as far as I can here, which is only going to be a couple of these humps, walk to the top, and then we can fly home. As far as I can. Which felt really good to be able to finally get to the back end of the race. There's my mate up there. Oh, how you going? Yeah. Up here. So who's struggling now? So 4 laps in, or 3.5 laps in, I finally found some heart to actually have a go at that descent there. And the camera just doesn't do it justice. It's a really technical descent, that one. In that front rail around.
It comes down the rocks. You've got to do a turn to the right there, which is the dangerous bit. If you don't, you're straight into a rock and over the handlebars. The others make it look so easy, but I certainly don't. But I was really happy to get down there on lap 4. But as you can hear, I'm starting to feel like I'm at the back end of the race. Certainly the heart rate's up, and I'm just about out of energy, which is where you need to be coming into the back end of the races. But I still got through this back end of this lap here okay, up through some of these hazards. I'd done them 3 times previously, probably not successful, but I was feeling pretty confident around how I approach each of these hazards, and I think it'd be better. That's that section there. There's 2 rocks in a row, and they're quite large. I could do one of those, but I can't do 2 of them. I don't think I'll ever be able to at my age, but yeah, still walking here a little bit to get through a couple of these hazards. I think I'm at the point where I've just about had enough for the day.
Come on, young fella.
Still smile on my face because I'm just about there. Get up the top of this climb. It's just down through Hammerhead and back home.
Climbing with the pedals. Almost. See the hazards to walk down them there. Okay.
So someone's pretty happy with himself. That's all the climbing done for today anyhow. So I managed to get to the top of Heart Attack through those hazards. It's just a matter of flowing down through Hammerhead here and down through the flowy trails back to the finish.
Next race start is Elite under 19, under 23, 19, 17, 15 and all Masters women.
I feel like I've been here before. Go to my left. Well done. I could ride that one, but getting set up's the problem. Not enough room. The problem here is getting locked in the pedals again. I'm in. Now where to go, one here?
Yeah, somehow he managed to find a trail there. I didn't see it. So he's coming up on me. Nice early call there, but I wasn't going to give way on that trail because I'm obviously standing on a really technical section, but there's an A-line there that he could take, so it's really good to him be able to slip through that one, which is probably a line that I wouldn't be able to take myself, but that's there for the guys that have got the skill. So through all the tough stuff now, we're coming out the back end of Hammerhead here, back onto the fire trail, and then onto the flowy section. So feeling pretty happy now. We're just about done, and it's been a good day at work.
I'll take this
Go for it. Make it quick. Woo!
They're flying over those jumps. Another short little A line, B line there that we could either utilise, and he's identified that.
Skill.
Let him go, and away he's gone.
I had that one once upon a time. That's it. Last of the water. Perfect. Oh boy, yeah. So the plan this morning was to go for a road ride. This was too technical, too dangerous for me. I decided last minute to have a go, take it easy on the tough bits. It came out good. Enjoyed that. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Woo! Alright, yeah.
How'd you go?
Oh, alright actually, yeah, in the end.
You got through?
Yeah, just walk those hard bits like most others were doing. And, yeah. So, it is what it is, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I managed to take it out.
Well done again.
Yeah.
Good. I'm racing well.
They,
So it's really good to catch up with some of the other riders at the end of the race, which is pretty typical in the Masters category. As I group up at the end, have a good old chat like a couple of old blokes. This guy here won the over 65 category quite convincingly, as he usually does. He's a lovely guy to chat to and rides really well. His daughter happens to be on the Mountain Bike World Tour, Rebecca Henderson. So They're based in Canberra. She's home this weekend, and she was also racing in the elite, but it's good to have her father out there still racing in his mid-60s and racing really well. So hope you enjoyed this video. Good fun making it. That's day 2 of the 3-day series here, otherwise known as race 6 from the National Mountain Bike Series. So if you like the content, please like and subscribe, and there will be another video coming out very shortly on race 7, which is tomorrow's race, which is a little bit flatter, less technical, and a little bit faster. So look forward to producing that one for you. Thanks for now, and keep riding.
I'm still standing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
I got a few times.
Yeah, you got it, man. Yeah.
Oh, bloody tiring there, ain't
There it is.
Yeah, you're going right.
Yeah.
You can ride it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been here? A few minutes?
Oh, yeah, 5 minutes. Yeah.
Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff everywhere.
It was, yeah.